Start recording. All right, so look, YouTube, how you doing? I'm streaming. I just have to make a quick video about a topic that keeps coming up over and over and over, because anybody that plays competitive games knows there's a bit of an issue. It's called ping, okay? P-I-N-G. And the title of this video is going to be quite funny, because the title of the video is going to be High Ping Gives Advantages, just not how you think. Now, I am not an IT guy. I'm not a tech expert, okay? But I did teach myself how to do Linux system admin, right? Linux engineering, okay? It's not necessarily networking. But it is a very hard operating system that not very many people know about. I used to run it on my laptop natively. I only took it off because it's just not as compatible with gaming. But what I want to talk about right now is why high ping gives people advantage, because a lot of people don't really understand. Now, naturally, at the base level, if I'm playing a game at 30 or 40 ping, and I'm playing somebody who's at 80 to 100 ping, they don't have an advantage. They have a very, very serious disadvantage, because I see them before they see me technically. Technically, it basically means my computer is hitting the server and then getting information back before theirs, right? So I'm actually like way ahead of them. Now, the way they do get an advantage, though, is the gaming companies who have these servers. What they do is they do what's called ping correction for when there is ping disparity, or there is a difference between people and their locations. So what it does is it corrects the ping issue, right? Now, the way this works, to explain it, is, let's say you're playing Valorant, which is a highly competitive game, okay? And you have people on there with high ping, but you're noticing that they are seeming to have an advantage to you. Just like I play Naraka, and it seems to me that people with high ping have an advantage. Technically, they're at a very big disadvantage, except for gaming companies put ping correction in their servers. Now, to explain it somewhat, and I might try to pull this up for a visual reference, but essentially what happens is the server itself corrects the ping issue. So let's say, okay, in something like Valorant, this is why in Counter-Strike you don't see a lot of high ping players, because they're at a serious disadvantage, and why other games you do. Now, in a game like Valorant, when the ping difference is so bad, what will normally happen is you can see like the feet of your opponent if you have high ping, but you can't see their body yet because the feet come in first, okay? Then the person who is trying to get an advantage on this ping issue can shoot the air over the feet. He's not actually hitting anybody, but the computer will correct it and give him hit markers. This would happen the same way in the game that I play, Naraka, where if someone with higher ping is getting into a combat situation, or someone's going to throw a focus and they throw a parry, well, they may not have timed that parry correctly. Obviously, there's a ping disparagement between the two people, right? So they would have probably missed that because they would have already gotten hit by the focus. But what the server does is it goes ahead and gives it to them. Gives them a hit marker, gives them a parry, whatever the case is, right? To try to bring the two pings in line with each other. And essentially what this does is it gives the person who plays with the proper ping, 30 to 50, a serious disadvantage, because now the computer is working against them. Now, Valorant over the years has tried to correct the issue by correcting the software that corrects the ping to make it more accurate. Now, my call is to all my fellow gamers to let the development companies know that we know what's going on and that they need to correct their software that is for ping correction, because it's not fair that we're in the right locations to the server and our hardware, our computer, and our internet is communicating correctly, but now we're suffering a consequence of it because the game developers want more people to be able to play that region. So they're stretching the reach out, but they're not putting the proper work into that software to make sure it's calibrated correctly. If it was calibrated correctly, we would all be it would be fair across the board. There wouldn't be an advantage or a disadvantage to either one. But instead, what we're getting is a disadvantage where we should clearly have an advantage. Those of us that have the correct ping, right? The other option would be to region lock the area, right? You region lock the people that are in that region, and you don't let people use VPNs or whatever the case is to get in that region, right? That's what they don't want to do because they want more people to play their game, and that's understandable. But if that's the case, then I ask you to calibrate your software that corrects the ping disparity. That's how you say that, right? Oh, it's where this, let me see if I'm saying that right. Yeah, disparaging, right? Yeah, disparage. Regard or represent as being of little worth. That's not what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the difference is all I'm trying to say. The difference between the two pings. It needs to be accurate. I hope I don't do that in the movie. So anyway, look, here's what I'm trying to say. I'll see if I can pull something up, right? High ping issues, right? High ping. Let's just do this, right? Okay, high ping disadvantage. Let's just put that in there. Disadvantage. This is for any game. What is the disadvantage of high ping? The higher the ping means the higher response speed. The higher response speed, and it will make the game being slow more lag, and it will put you into a disadvantage with other players. While if you have low ping, mostly around 50 or lower, it is a perfect connection speed to play the game properly. So it is not the fact that they have higher ping that gives them the benefit. It is this. Server ping correction. Correction software. I will obviously cut this and make it low. Let's why is high ping giving an advantage in competitive games. All right. This is great. Let's read this a little bit. Oh, because players are animated. This shows the enemy's body is visible before they can see you. You might have it. So right here, this is off of a Reddit, right? I don't like that. That doesn't sound good. Disparities, that's what I was trying to say. With no lag compensation. Yeah, lag compensation, that's what it is. Lag compensation. Lag compensation allows the server to momentarily see the world from each client's perspective and decide if they were in fact in a position to take that impossible shot. So this is what they do right here. Lag compensation. This is how they end up with a advantage. Lag compensation is the notion of the server using a player's latency to rewind time when processing a user command in order to see what the player saw when the command was sent, in combination with prediction. Okay, so they predict whether it will hit or not. Lag compensation can help to combat network latency to the point of almost eliminating it from the perspective of an attacker. For more detailed explanation, see the source multiplayer networking article. By default, only players are rewound and 1 second of location/animation history is kept. Right? So here's the problem. If they didn't use lag compensation, then someone with very high ping, especially shoddy connection, wouldn't be able to play. They'd be teleporting everywhere, and it would be very hard to play. But because servers use lag compensation, it actually ends up giving them a bit of an advantage. Which kind of showing it here, right? But anyway, right here, you can actually change it right here. Allows clients to tell the server that they don't want their own commands lag compensated. This is not a cheat. All right. Show lag compensation is a cheat. So essentially, you can get cheats that actually work within the lag compensation tool to essentially make it help them, right? So this is how a lot of cheats are done. They work within this lag compensation tool that the servers, the game developers and servers are using. So anyway, the point is, if we want to eliminate some of this, we need to work more on the lag compensation being utilized and making sure that it's correctly compensating. That's what I'm trying to get at. It needs to be calibrated correctly, and it needs to be more secured. That's all. The only other option, if it is the best it can be, and we're still seeing advantage from those with high ping, then we need to region lock the areas, because you can't have a competitive shooter or a competitive melee game, right, and have something like this going on. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not fair to either party. But if you want to fact check me, by all means, look it up. You can look up people with high ping have huge advantages. Why they get the advantage. Technically, person with high ping is a severe disadvantage unless they use lag compensation. Okay, lag compensation is what is causing the advantage on the high ping user's side. And when they have cheats that work with lag compensation, that's even worse, right? So that's all I really wanted to say. Sorry I got into like all this other stuff, but I just wanted to make a point that it's the lag compensation tools and the abuse of those tools that give high ping players an advantage over low ping players, not the ping itself. That's all I really want to get out there and say. And so we should be holding gaming community, like developer communities and their servers, accountable to make sure that the lag compensation is correct. There we go. That it's correct and it's the way it needs to be, so that neither side is having a advantage. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, all right, YouTube. Just wanted to get that out there so everybody understands lag compensation is causing the advantage, and hacks that work within lag compensation, not high ping. High ping is a disadvantage. Okay? All right. Thanks, YouTube. Y'all take it easy, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Have a good one. I just realized that I said all of this with this behind me. Sorry. But yeah, it is back there. So check it out if you'd like to. All right.